What is up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And I hope you guys like the new intro. It's not too much different, but it was like 2 or 3 years old, so I changed up the pictures and the sound a little bit, because that literally was a random soundtrack I found at the moment I made the intro. So let me know if you think this one is better, and if not, let me know as well, because I want to be having the best possible intro I can make for you guys. Anyway, the back workout, we are starting out with supported kettlebell rows. This can also be dumbbells, but I have to say the grip on kettlebells, if you can get them heavy enough too, is just amazing to really work the back with. Trust me, I want to work on the back thickness, and having a supported bench like this on an incline allows you to stretch all the way down and really contract the rhomboids, the traps, really the back thickness in the upper back to the max. And the grips on these kettlebells just really allow me to really only focus on the back without focusing on the grip too much. And sometimes the dumbbells are a little bit in the way. If they get too big, they can sometimes clash against the bench, but with the kettlebells you don't have that problem. And I am working out with my dad. As you can see, he's also doing this workout pretty much using the same weights that I am. He is, by the way, 50 years old now. He turned 50 in May, and I turned 26 in May as well. So that's pretty awesome to be working out with your own family, your own dad. And being on a similar strength level allows you to spot each other very much better, and allows also for enough intensity to exist within the workout. And now look at this last set of the supported kettlebell rows, set number 6. We don't have heavier kettlebells than 32, even though that already is quite heavy for having kettlebells, going up to 32 kilograms, which is above 70 pounds. But then we're going to add some change, which weigh 8 kilograms each, to make it even more difficult. So the higher I pull up these kettlebells, the heavier they become. Alright, then the next exercise, the underhand seal row. And the seal row is simply a different name for doing a row on the bench, just like this with a barbell beneath you. The only thing I want to do different here is get a barbell that is like caved in the middle, so I can even pull it up even further, because right now the barbell is clashing against the bottom of the bench. But it does allow me to really contract the back nicely and take away the momentum, and it actually makes the negative portion of the exercise more difficult. But as you can see, you can really see the lower back thickness or the lower lats contracting, and that's exactly what I want to work here, because I want my lats to have more mass at the lower portion, so they will actually appear to attach just a little lower. Anything to improve that V taper. And here I am putting on the belt to do these bent over rows or barbell rows with a different barbell, actually with a hammer grip. We purchased this barbell because I always wanted to do this one. You can actually do tricep presses with this as well, but I found out that you can also do bent over rows with them, and that's actually quite nice. It's a better grip for the biceps. Underhand would put most stress on the biceps, overhand would also put stress on the biceps, but this variation, in my opinion, really allows you to really contract the back even more, especially in the upper back thickness. And it's just a very nice way to spice up the workout. So if you have a barbell like this in your gym, I definitely recommend using it. And what you want to do is really don't choose a weight that's really too heavy. I mean, I'm going up to 105 kilograms here, which is the heaviest weights I'm going to do with this barbell row, because otherwise I cannot get into that deep contraction at the top. If you cannot get into that deep contraction, simply go to a lighter weight, because then those muscle fibers will not be targeted. Then it is time for the next exercise, one that is a pull down, different from all the other exercises we just did, because all of them were a row variation. But now we're going to do a pull down, because this is very good for the V taper as well, for the lats, getting some more width. And here you can actually see what's happening in the back when doing this exercise. when I'm going all the way up, you can see that the entire back is stretching. So it's also good for the thickness. You can see the lat stretching. So this is what you want to see when doing this exercise. It kind of looks weird when it's fully stretched, but that's the way it kind of has to look if you fully stretch a muscle. And then you contract it and you can see the thickness in the back right there. Of course, doing some posing right here to check out the progression. I'm quite pleased with the V shape showing here and the back thickness improving a little by little, which is my goal for this year, to present a much bigger and better back on stage, because that's what was one of my weak points on stage last time in March. You know, the back thickness isn't bad. It used to be much worse in the past. It has improved, but you can never get a back that is too thick on stage. A lot of people within the classic physique contests are still having a bigger and thicker back than me, so I have to fix that by getting a bigger back myself. And then this exercise, guys, you know that I love to do a dumbbell pullover. So this is a dumbbell pullover, but then banded with a resistance band. Honestly, this feels very amazing. A lot of people have trouble with their mind-muscle connection, especially when the dumbbell is moving towards the stomach like this, as you can see. But because of the resistant band, and you do need a spotter for this to hold the band, you can actually feel contraction all the way. You don't lose tension, you don't lose momentum. I mean, you don't use momentum, you only feel the contraction and the stretch without losing any tension on the muscle. Honestly, I had this exercise, I watched it on a video from John Meadows. I was like, what? That was quite surprising because I never thought of it myself. And when I saw it, it was kind of like, why have I never done this myself? Because I always do cable pullovers, regular dumbbell pullovers, even decline cable pullovers laying down, but I've never done a dumbbell pullover banded like this. So trust me, guys, if you have a workout partner or you can get someone to spot you with this, get a dumbbell that is much lighter than the usual dumbbell that you use when doing a dumbbell pullover, and then loop a resistant band with it, through it, and then use someone to actually pull on it. And the thing is, you don't have to change the weight, because that is exactly one of the benefits of using a resistance band with someone holding it, because the person can simply step forward to lessen the resistance, making it lighter. So you can actually go past failure with that weight by letting the spotter step forward or backwards, depending on how easy or how difficult the exercise is. Alright, next up, the cable concentration curls. I've been telling you guys, you may or may not know, that my biceps are a little sensitive to injury. After the Arnold Classic in March, I was able to rebound quite nicely and increase my strength quite a lot, because I didn't really work out hard for like 2 weeks prior and during the Arnold Classic. I felt fully energized and rejuvenated because I had no pains or aches whatsoever. And because of the rebound, I was able to go heavier and heavier and heavier in the gym, even going upwards, 30 to 35 kilogram dumbbells, doing dumbbell curls relatively easily. However, doing that week after week kind of took its toll, and that's been a lesson for me. So you should never really push yourself right after a competition, even though I was very motivated to do so. Simply do not do it, because it will aggravate your joints and tendons, who cannot keep up with the increased strength of the muscles. But I wanted to tell you that instead of the regular concentration curls, I did the cable concentration curls to get a full tension on the bicep throughout the range of motion without aggravating the tendon too much, because you can actually go nice and light but get a maximum contraction every time you do the curl. And this is actually the Zotman curl. Many of you may have never seen this before, but it's an excellent way to thicken the bicep from the front and to work on the forearms simultaneously. So you can see me doing these curls right here. It's a hammer curl going up, and then you actually move your wrist inwards, and that causes your upper forearm to contract and hold the weight during the eccentric range of the motion. So when you're going up, you're really working the brachialis muscle that is in between the small head of the tricep and the biceps. As you can see right there, that little bump right there. And when you're going down, you work the length of the bicep and you work the forearm quite a lot. So this is a very nice thing to do. You can overload the muscle without using too much weight. Obviously here I'm using a very light weight. Right now I'm using about 12 kilograms. I mean, in the workouts that I'm doing at this moment. This was probably like the second time I've ever done Zotman curls, and because if you do it wrong, it might mess up the tendons near your forearms and biceps. You might not want to go heavy the first time, but build up gradually. You can see that my left forearm needs to increase in size, because that's why I'm doing this exercise. And I'm actually also training forearms separately as well. So this enhances the bicep thickness and the forearms at the same time, using a slow and controlled motion. Anyway guys, this was the workout of today. A lot more footage is coming for sure. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. It was a nice back workout with my dad. I have actually a lot more footage coming already recorded with the very camera that is recording right now. And here you can see I just did this video, just narrated it. What I always do is first record it with this camera, cut up the clips in the program I use on my computer right there, and then use this microphone to narrate the entire video. And on top of that, a lot more nutrition videos are coming. A lot of you guys have requested them, so they will be coming. Not only full days of eating, not only me eating my meals and what I'm eating, but also things I like to implement in my diet to make it easier, tastier, and most importantly, more anabolic, literally. There are some things you can add to your food that requires minimal effort that make your food that much more anabolic, that's actually worth the effort. So that will be coming up next in the next few videos. I will try to upload more and more frequent. I'll do my very best to do that. I'm actually going to my coach today to check out the progress of my off-season weight. And honestly, this morning I weighed 120.2 kilograms while still keeping a nice condition, below 10% body fat, which is what I like to keep. Anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.